So this plant that I'm sharing the frame with right here is Chamaedorea metallica. Let me make sure that it's in frame in one section. It is a little bit of a full plant, but this is about the size that it remains. It might get to about 2 to 3 feet, but this is a palm that kind of hangs out in the understory of forests. So this is a plant that is particularly good for lower to moderate light conditions, which is very unusual for some plants, but this is definitely a plant that could survive in those conditions. So this is one of the first times I'm actually growing it, and I wanted to give it a trial out, especially in the interior of my space, so that's actually where this is. And I didn't say this, but this is actually native to forests within Mexico. Now, you'll want to, when you fertilize this, you want to do it with slow release fertilizer, largely because you're not going to be growing this plant in really high light conditions, and it's going to be growing very, very slowly. As a matter of fact, if you actually see this in a garden center or a plant shop, it'll probably be a little bit more on the expensive side, and it is because it is an extremely slow grower. Now, it does like to maintain a little bit of moisture, but if you're giving it lower light, then it'll probably end up remaining moist. So you want to make sure that it has a really nice kind of like barky mixture, something that has a little bit more perlite in it, so that it actually just has a little bit more of a well-draining mixture, so it's not sitting in mucky water. It does not want that, but it does want a little bit of moisture. If this is a plant that will take on a little bit more dust because it's just going to be sitting there. So if you're able to like spray the plant leaves, mist it a little bit, maybe dust it off, then it'll probably be a lot happier. Now, as I'd mentioned, you're probably not going to be propagating this plant, but I do think these plants you could grow a little bit more by cuttings or like little offsets, or also just seed. And again, it's a very, very slow growing plant, so you have to be patient with it. But if you wanted a little bit more of a bushy plant in a lower light condition and one that's relatively easy to take care of, then you could actually go with the Chamaedorea metallica. And metallica, the species name, I didn't say this before, actually refers to the metallic coloration of the leaves. And there are different forms and cultivars of this that have a little bit more of a metallic sheen, or that might be a little darker or splotchier than others. And those are definitely collector ones. So if you see one, definitely pick one up because they are gorgeous plants.